and welcome to the first show for the regular season of Let's Talk Chicago Bears. Hi guys, I'm back. Haven't seen you for a few weeks after I did a few shows for the preseason. As I told you, I wasn't going to be around. I was traveling. I was gone for 11 days. I went to Kentucky for my niece's wedding, which was freaking awesome. We had so much fun. I danced so much, I threw my hip out a little bit. Man, except for I got to tell you what, it is freaking humid in Kentucky. It was 95% humidity at the time of my niece's wedding, which was at 4:30 in the afternoon. We were outside. It was an outside wedding ceremony. Oh my God, it was so hot. But we had a blast. We just partied. And then I went back with my sister. She lives outside of Nashville, and I went back and spent the rest of I was gone 11 days, and I spent 3 days in Kentucky, and the rest of them was in Tennessee. My sister, she has an awesome house with a pool. She has a screen-in porch with a TV out there. So I got to chill out in the pool. I got to watch football out on the patio. I was in heaven. I had a beer in my hand. I mean, what more can you ask? But it was fun. It was fun. We had a good time, and my family's crazy. But I partied for 11 days straight, and oh my God, I'm too old for that. I got back and I was exhausted. And I caught a cold in Tennessee, which you can't catch colds anymore because then it's, everybody, she's got it. Well, I did the right responsible thing, and I went and got tested. I did not have COVID. It was just an old-fashioned cold that I caught from probably not sleeping for 11 days, and I'm pretty much over it now. I've got a little bit of a cough, but, and we were going from hot to cold, because it was so humid there. And my sister's house was pretty cold. I couldn't keep my house in Vegas that cold because my electric bill would be $1,000 a month. So, but I'm not complaining about it being, cold in her house, but that's how I got sick. So, and I had a few mishaps, but I survived. I did hurt my hip. I wasn't kidding about that. And then I kind of tweaked my ankle. I was walking through her house with a bunch of empty beer cans, and it's hardwood floor. And of course, I was wet from the pool and slipped. And but they got ice on it. I had a good trainer there, and so that was okay. And then the other one was my sister. I told you she has a TV outside, so I kneeled down to grab something off the floor. I came up and whacked right on the corner of the TV. I still got a bump on my head from that. I can't do anything without something happening. So that was lets you know that so you gotta give me a little leeway. The first show of the regular season, brain's a little pickled from those 11 days of partying, and I'm apologizing. Elvis, my cat, is still pissed at me. I've been home 3 days and he hasn't stopped meowing, so I'm sure you're gonna hear him meowing. But so that was my last installment of what I did this summer. So it was fun, though. One thing I'll tell you what, they don't believe COVID exists because there was no masks worn at all in Kentucky or Nashville. I mean, I didn't mind so much, I won't lie, because do I like to wear masks? No, but will I? Yes. I'm vaccinated and stuff, but still, this whole thing sucks. So we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Chicago Bears. That's right, baby, because we're back for a new season. So they play, as everybody probably knows, this Sunday night. They're in Los Angeles. They're playing the Rams. I'm a little concerned because it's a Sunday night game, and I'm not sure if Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth are calling the game because they called the Tampa Bay game last night. But Chris Collinsworth always brings bad juju to the Bears games. He don't like the Bears, that's for sure, and I know why. Because in the 80s, he was a wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals in the 80s, and that's when the Bears' defense was the best. They were just, they killed everybody. Everybody was afraid of him. So I'm pretty sure the Bears probably knocked him around a bit, and he can't let go of it. So He's only mean now. So if the Bears are playing good, he's somewhat nice about it. But if the Bears are playing bad, oh my God, he rips them. And if you've seen games with him, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm kind of concerned because he always brings that bad to the game. So I'm a little worried because we don't know what to expect, to be honest with you, this first game. And you can hear my cat, he's downstairs meowing. So I'm going to yell at him, stop it! How unprofessional is he? God, Elvis. Anyway, so let's talk about this game. So the Bears, so we start out the season with the Rams, and I don't know if you know, but it's reported that the Bears have the third toughest schedule this year, which is not good for us. No, it's not, because we need everything in our favor right now because a lot of things are changing. We've got a lot of new players, and we still have Nagy as the coach, and he's calling the plays. The so-called experts are predicting that the Bears are going to be below 500 this year. I've heard it from many reporters, and of course, I always go like this to the TV screen when I hear that, and I'm going to do 2 sausage fingers. Let's hope they're wrong, but if they have the third hardest schedule, that's not going in their favor. So let's just hope. But so we're starting out first game. And we have many changes. So let's talk about a little bit. We know we have 2 new quarterbacks. I mean, duh, everybody knows that, right? And if you don't live in Illinois and you're not a big Bears fan, we signed a veteran quarterback, Andy Dalton. He's red-haired quarterback, and he will be our starter on Sunday. Like it or not, he will. And then, of course, at the 11th overall pick in the first round, we picked Justin Fields from Ohio State as our quarterback, which we're hoping is going to be our future, right? Because we need a quarterback, and we need one that's going to last a long time. Because, you know what, in my lifetime, there was so many times, when we signed McMahon, yeah, he took us to the Super Bowl, but it wasn't just him, it was the defense, and then McMahon ended up being a tool. He was just a jerk, in my opinion, and he was hurt all the time, so that didn't work out. And then, you get some quarterbacks here and there. You get Dexy Grossman. Remember him? When we drafted him, everybody, oh man, he's the next coming. He plays the first preseason game, and he breaks his ankle. And then it was really downhill from them. I mean, yeah, Rexy Grossman took us to, also was our quarterback in 2006 when we played the Indianapolis Colts in Miami at the Super Bowl. Bears were in it, and the Bears lost, of course. And Grossman was a quarterback, but he never turned out to be what he was supposed to be. That was another, And then, you get quarterbacks here and there, and they're supposed to be the next coming. Then Cutler. Another one was supposed to be the one that took us there, and obviously that didn't happen either. So, I mean, it's just been one after, and then, of course, poor Mitchell. I hate to throw him out there because, I'm kind of a fan of Mitchell's. But, look what happened there. Even though more of that's on the coach, as I've said a million times, so I'm not going to beat that dead horse, okay? But, so Andy Dalton will be starting. He's a veteran quarterback, and he will play until his record doesn't warrant it. If he keeps winning, if the Bears win, he's going to stay in. If the Bears start to lose, then Nagy's going to throw Fields in. I want Fields to be totally comfortable and ready. I don't think he's there yet because a few things I saw in some of the preseason, he almost had his head chopped off in that one game because he totally missed the blitz. And so there's some things he's still got to work on. But you know what? I know we're going to see him this season. But we're going to deal with it with Andy Dalton, and let's support him because he's our quarterback, so we need him. The biggest thing we've got to worry about this year and hope that it holds up is our offensive line. They've got to stay healthy, and they've got to be able to work as a team. They say it's getting a little bit better. They've been, practicing a lot, but, That's our problem. You got to have a good offensive line for your quarterback, number one, and your running backs. Anybody. If you don't have a good offensive line, forget it. I mean, an example, Indianapolis Colts. They had one of the best quarterbacks in Luck. And what happened? They had such a bad offensive line when he was there. He got injured way too much. They should have gone to a Super Bowl with Andrew Luck, and he was really good, and he should still be in the NFL. But because he kept getting hurt every year because they didn't invest money, so they invested. This is the thing that really I couldn't understand with Indy. They invest the money in Luck, Andrew Luck, give him all this money, but yet they don't go out and pay and get a good offensive line. So then he ends up hurt, and he ends up retiring in his late 20s. I mean, that's never been heard of before, of a quarterback at his stature, and he was good and could have been even better, and having to retire because he was like, I just can't do it anymore. The injuries just got too bad. So that's why an offensive line is really so important. So we've got a line, and this is going to be the starting line on Sunday night, providing there isn't any injuries. Now, I didn't get the injury report yet today because I'm doing my show a little early, so there could be some changes. So this is just as projected right now today at 11:30 Vegas time. So our left tackle is going to be Jason Peters. Our right tackle is going to be Jermaine I can't, you know how bad I am with names, so I'm going to be killing these names. Our right guard is going to be James Daniels. Our left guard is Cody Whitehair. And our center is Sam Must Per. I don't know. It's Sam something, and he's going to be our center. And if we can have this offensive line stay healthy, and just get better and better every week, it will be a huge boost because that was a problem last year. Mitchell and whoever was in there at the time, they didn't have a chance. And you can't run a ball if you don't have an offensive line that can open up holes for you too. So let's just pray that this year is the year that we turn this around with our offensive line because it's huge and important. And then let's talk about the rest of the starting offense. So, again, if something changes, I don't think anything will change with the offense on the injury report today, but hopefully not. So our wide receivers are going to be Mr. Mooney, Allen Robinson, and Marquise Goodwin. So they'll be going in and out. Those will be our three starters. Our starting tight end will be Cole Kmet. Year 2 for this young man. Came out of Notre Dame. And we've got a lot of backups for him. So that's going to be good. We kept quite a few tight ends this year, and I think one of the reasons we kept extra tight ends is to help with the offensive line. So, but I like me a tight end, and Cole, they say, has been staying extra hours to really get better in year 2, and because we do need it, and it only helps out your quarterback and your running backs if you're good, because that helps out your quarterback a lot. And I have a feeling Cole Kmet is going to be the real deal. Our starting running back, of course, is Montgomery. And as I said, the starting quarterback is Andy Dalton. Okay? All right, so let's go to our starting defense. And again, this is where I'm not sure about because there are a couple guys on this list that were on the injured report yesterday and Wednesday, and they did not practice. Okay? So, and one of them's a problem. We'll get to that. So we'll start out with our safeties. We have T. Gibson Sr., we have Eddie Jackson. So those are our 2 starting safeties, one on each side. Our cornerbacks are Jalen Johnson and Kindy Vidor. Vidor. You guys are all laughing at me. Last year I'm terrible with names, so this will be the last time. That's why I say their numbers. So starting next week, I'll start saying their numbers because a lot of them changed their numbers this year because they were allowed to change numbers. So there's different numbers. So I'm going to know all the numbers, and I'll start using their whatever name I can pronounce with their numbers because I did that last year. If you watched, me. I'm like, I'm like my dad's daughter for sure. Because he had 4 kids that went to a high school called Hershey, not Hershey, the candy bar, and 4 kids, and he always called it Hershey. So that's why I can't do names. So it's my dad's fault. Okay, plus the brain is pickled, remember that. Especially after the last 11 days. Okay, get the football in. All right, God. Anyways, our defensive tackle, Hicks, my man, I love me some Hicks. He is 96 and has not changed that number, and I'm really glad the Bears kept him. Our also another defensive tackle, Eddie Goldman. He is back. He sat out last year because of COVID. His mother was very sick, with cancer, so he did not want to play. But he is the one that's worrying me, and we really need him back. When Eddie's playing, that defensive line plays really well, and they've all said him coming back has made a huge difference. But he has not practiced the last 2 days. I'm hoping it's just precautionary because he doesn't really need to, but let's hope because we need him. But we do have backup. Our defensive line is pretty solid with good backups. They did go out and get some good backups and draftees. So, that might have to be. Okay, another defensive lineman is B. Nichols. He will be playing. He's on the defensive line. And then our outside linebacker, of course, Mac, the number 52. He hasn't changed either. I hope Mac has a better year. He didn't last year. I wasn't all that impressed. But if the line stays healthy, we have Eddie Goldman in, and Hicks plays like he does, and Nichols plays. Mac's going to have a good year. And then an inside linebacker, Alex Ogletree, and he was a great pickup. We got him. He was put on the waiver wires, and 3 to 4 weeks ago, and we picked him up. And thank God we did because Danny Trevathan is on the injured reserve and cannot play. So, and Alex has been doing really well. He's been playing very well. Sorry, we're having a snafu here. Okay. There's always something on this show. Technical problems. So, Alex Ogletree, he has really stepped up. So that was a really good pickup, Bears. Also, another inside linebacker, Roquan Smith. We all know who he is. He's rocking. We need him to just get better and better. This is year 3, and he is going to rock it. And then on outside linebacker, Robert Quinn, as we all know. And this guy really needs to step up because, you know what? Since we've had him, I have not been impressed, and we paid him a shit ton of money. And in my opinion, he has not earned it. So we need all these guys to be healthy and head in the game because if they are, they're a darn good defense. So we do have some young guys that may be coming in and out, like this Vidor Kitty or Kindy. I don't know how do you say his first name, but he's a cornerback and he is a rookie. So we're going to see how he does. So it'll be interesting. So I don't know. You know what? It's just, it's hard the first game because I'm just going to tell you who's playing because I got to see how they're playing because I haven't seen it. You didn't really see much of the defense, number 1 defense, playing all together in the preseason, and I did not see the last game, as I told you, because I was busy partying in Louisville, Kentucky. So, and the punter, and so the kicking team, special teams. Our punter is Patrick O'Donnell, who is awesome. Our kicker is Santos, who has also been really good the last 2 years. Thank God we got a kicker. The long snapper for both of these guys is Patrick Scales. Patrick Scales. And one of our kick returner right now is a rookie running back, Herbert. And I believe he's number 24. He was drafted in the later rounds as a running back. So he right now is going to be a kick returner, and our punt returner is N. Webster, and he's supposed to be very good. The Bears went and got him. they picked him up off the waiver wires as well. So that is our starting team. So basically, you know how I feel. This is what's going to happen. This is what the Bears need to do to win this game on Sunday night. Number one, they got to keep their offense out on the field a lot. They've got to score points. I don't care whether it's 3 or 7. You got to come away with points every time the offense is out on the field. For the number one reason obviously is to win the game. The more points you score, the more you have a better chance of winning. But number 2, and most importantly, is you keep that defense, our defense, off the field. Because in the early games, the first couple games of the seasons, the teams, the guys that get tired the most, the squad that gets tired the most is the defense, because they're doing a lot of hard work out there. And, they're offensive. Yes, they play hard and it gets tiring, but they know what they're doing. They know their plays and they're doing them. Remember, a defense is going against this. They don't know. So they got to guess a little bit and go after these guys. So they're running all over. So defenses tend to tire out in the first couple games of the season first. So you want to keep the defense off the field as much as we can. So that means you have to score points. So the Bears have got to score, and they've got to have long, sustained drives on offense. They've got to keep the defense. The defense has to do 3 and outs as much as they can to get off the field. The defense also, and this is huge, and they did do it in the preseason, and they weren't not good at it last year, is they need to get more turnovers. So that's the third thing, is they got to really work on getting turnovers. They do that, that's going to help. And then the other thing is they really have to keep down on the penalties. Now, you know how I feel about penalties, and they always start out bad. I have a rule: you should not have less than 5 or more than 5 or less penalties a game. If you keep it 5 or less, you've got a good chance of winning that game, because you're not shooting yourself in the foot. And the Bears tend to do that on offense a lot, where they make a good play and then it comes back on holding. They make a good play, it comes back on, illegal man downfield. So they cannot do that. They have to start out fresh, smart this year. No penalties. And you want to get those turnovers. That's really huge. Very low penalties and a turnover here and there. It's going to help. We got to get our running game going again, and we got to get Andy Dalton protected so he can throw the ball, okay? Because we've got receivers and tight ends that can catch it. So, important. So, really, what you're going to be looking at in this game is those things that's saying is really the offensive line and the offensive line and our backfield on the defense, where the cornerbacks and the safeties. They're somewhat new. There are some guys that have been there and not. So we've got, Fuller's gone now. So, he's with Denver because of the, money. That we lost him because of money. That's the bottom line, which really sucks. But so really our offensive line, I'm going to keep an eye on, and our the back end of our defense are 2 big things to watch. So we'll see what happens, guys. And I'm going to do a new thing where I'm going to tell you the color of the jersey that the Bears will be wearing for each game. And for Sunday night's game, it will be the traditional blue. And of course, I had to wear the true Bears player of all time, Walter Payton. I mean, can't argue with that. So Sunday night will be a true blue. They will be in their blues. Blue and probably white short pants, and I personally just cannot wait. I'm so excited. I was watching the Tampa Bay game, which was an awesome game last night, but I'm in a survival league, and I picked Tampa Bay, and they almost lost. I'm like, you can't lose the first game in a survival football league, otherwise you're done. You just can't. So I eked that one out, but it was a good game. I gotta say, I was kind of impressed with Dallas. I really didn't see that happening. So we'll see. But I am so excited to have football back. College is back. I watched a bunch of college last week. I'm going to be watching it tomorrow. And then, of course, Sunday Night Football is the Chicago Bears. You know I had to get a little singing there. All right. So, everybody, get your gear on, get your game on. Let's get in front of that TV and root our Chicago Bears on to a victory, because it's always sweeter to start the season with the first win out of the gate. And this is going to be a tough game. And the thing about this game, which is a little ironic, is that the quarterback on the Rams is somebody the Bears know very well, and it's Stafford. Stafford, who was the quarterback for the Detroit Lions the last, 8 years or something like that, 10 years. So the Bears know him very well. So that's who the quarterback is, as you've remembered. They did a big trade, the Rams and Detroit, in the beginning of the year. Rams gave, what's his name, to Detroit, and Detroit gave Stafford to them. Oh, God, what is his name? Oh, God. And you're all yelling at the screen going, I know. I can see him, too. I can see him. Oh, God. See? Pickled. And it's the first game of the season. So you know who I'm talking about. I can't even, it's going to really piss me off. I'm going to turn the screen off. I'm going to end the show, and you know I'm going to come up with this game. But my awesome subscriber, somebody I'll write in the comments, his name was, anyways, so that's it. Get everything on. Get ready. Get in front of that TV, and let's go. Go Chicago Bears. And I don't know about where you guys are living, but we're back in masks. It's back to the old time again. So, you know what, people? If you're hemming and hawing about the vaccine, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do. But at the end of the day, it's probably a good idea. Because look at the NFL. You know, they're not fooling around. If a team cannot put enough players on the field for a game, they're not rescheduling it this year. Or if there's too many COVIDs that they can't play, that they'll infect the other team, they're not rescheduling them like they did last year. What they're going to do is they're going to cancel the game, and both teams will not be paid for those games. So it's not just the team that comes out sick. It's the other team won't be paid either. Either team will be paid. So I heard, the last I heard, and I want to say this is true, that I heard the NFL is 95% vaccinated. So we got to get 100. And that's why Cam Newton one of the reasons he got cut from New England this week was because he wasn't following the protocol. Then he got it, and he had to go on a list. So, Bill Belichick don't fool around, and he's like, get out of here, and because Mac Jones is starting for New England anyways, the rookie. So, and Cam Newton, if you ask me, he's way into himself, and he thinks he's going to be a starter, and he's not. If he gets picked up anywhere, I predicted the Rams were going to pick him up as a backup, but I guess he's saying he doesn't want to be a backup. So, okay, so I'm not going to pick that one. All right, I'm done talking about it. The vaccine, that is. So, I'm so glad you're back. I hope a lot of people watch. First show's a little rusty, but, I'm going to get better and better. And I'll start with my stories again. And, let's go Bears, right? So I love you guys. I love doing this show, and you guys make it worth it. My regulars and my friends and some of the family that watch me. Most of my family doesn't watch me. Is that sad or what? I don't know. What the hell? God. But the ones that do, I love you, and there's a shout out to you. Because I know who watches and who doesn't. So don't think I don't. All right. I love you guys. And let's go Chicago Bears, and let's beat those Rams up. And as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby. And I'll talk to you soon. We'll see you guys on Monday after a Bears win. Bye-bye.